Hello, my name is Peter Morse, and this is my capstone presentation for my Master's in Instructional Technology. This project was conducted between January 2020 and November 2021. I am a Master's candidate for the Instructional Technology program at Kennesaw State University. My expected graduation date is December 2021. I have taught middle grades ELA and social studies for the last 8 years and currently in my ninth year of teaching at South Habersham Middle School in Habersham County, Georgia. I completed my bachelor's in middle grades education at the University of Georgia with a focus in ELA and social studies. The title of my capstone project was Utilizing Technology and EL Strategies in the Classroom. At my school, we have a very large EL population, and I knew that this would be a great thing to cover within our school. Within my district, we have a large ELL population, and I saw that there was a need to help teachers utilize elevation strategies within their classroom to better assist our developing English language learners. We adopted the program Elevations in the fall of 2019 as a district-wide initiative to help our students and help our teachers connect with our students and bridge the gaps. Looking over the data, one can see from 2018 and 2019, one can see that our EL population, also the Hispanic population, makes up 46% of South Habersham Middle School. If you look at the English language learners population with the school overall, we have 153 as of 2020. This makes up a large percentage of our students at our school, and this demonstrated the need to use the program Elevations within our school. Our district also has a large EL population, and this is one of the reasons why they chose to use the program Elevations as a digital software program to help teachers with implementing lessons that can help include our ELL segment. The problem/need for this capstone project came from a district-wide initiative that was set to help teachers use elevation strategies within the classrooms and also our school settings. Through the iTech program, candidates must complete field experiences in the primary to high school levels. I determined I would use instructional coaching sessions at the primary, middle, and high school levels. All three levels were able to meet, but eventually went to Zoom sessions for the primary level due to the outbreak of COVID-19 in March of 2020. This is a sample of the elevations questionnaire I made for my school. This Google form was a general questionnaire that I sent out to my school staff to gauge their use of Elevations platform currently utilized within our district and see if any teachers experience success with the program utilizing it to help our students in the EL population. Unfortunately, this is right before the outbreak of COVID-19, and many of the teachers did not respond because they were busy getting ready for the possibility that we might have to go to remote learning. This is actually a surreal picture to me. This was taken on March the 12th, 2020. We left on a Thursday and we did not return the next day on that Friday, on the 13th. But before the students were made aware of the possibility of learning from home, the teachers were informed that we would have to generate at-home learning packets for the students during the second week of February 2020. On March 12, 2020, I held my last face-to-face instructional lesson with my students, and I would not provide direct instruction until September 8, 2020. This proved to be an arduous task of continuing to complete my capstone project due to the fact that I would not be able to work with teachers face-to-face. And that made me have to make some big decisions about how I was going to conduct the rest of my project. My vision for the capstone was code restrictions. I knew it would be virtually impossible to finish my project in time with all the new restrictions in place with my district. I decided to take the fall of 2020 to reorganize my thoughts and determine a new way to reach teachers while complying with the new rules. In the spring of 2021, I was able to work again closely with staff members and engage in the use of elevation strategies once again. Since the original survey was not successful, I determined that I would seek out teachers individually and I could help them with the elevation strategies on a one-to-one basis, and also keep in mind with the restrictions that were in place with our county. In my capstone project plan, I would redirect my attention from focusing on a broad audience and focus on an individual one-on-one basis to help me meet the criteria set forth by the county's COVID-19 guidelines. I would help teachers navigate the use of Elevation's platform and help them determine a strategy that they could use in the classroom to reach our ELL populations. The goal was to work with as many teachers as possible and have them use at least one elevation strategy within their lessons from the consultations that I would provide and also the coaching. Each workshop/coaching session focused on teachers gaining a stronger understanding of how to navigate the Elevations platform and become more comfortable with the functionality. There were several topics that were covered in these sessions. What strategies are you currently using in the classroom to reach your ELL population? How can elevation strategies benefit your student population? Using the elevation strategies to better assist the students who are currently being served and monitored was one of the main objectives of these sessions, and also interpreting the baseline data and elevations which showed their current status of where they were at. Capstone Project Plan. I determined it would be easier to seek out teachers who wanted assistance with their efforts in utilizing the elevation strategies in their classroom. After determining the teacher would like coaching, I would schedule a time to go over the platform and determine a strategy that would work best for their classroom setting. Then we would determine a time if it was possible for me to observe them and utilize the strategy or discuss their success with the recording with the use of the strategies in the classroom. This on the right is actually a sample of a document that I used with one of my coaching sessions for the high school teacher that I worked with closely. This allowed me to kind of plan accordingly and make sure that we covered all the bases of what needed to be covered in using the strategy. In the evaluation plan, the impact of this project was measured in several ways to ensure the quality. I would engage in open dialogue with the teachers from the beginning to help determine the needs they saw in their classroom. Upon completion of each coaching session, I would conduct an interview with the coachee to determine what went well and determine if there were any ways we could have strengthened the elevation strategy they used in the lesson. Teachers were observed while using the strategy and were provided with coaching feedback. This picture on the left is an exemplar of one of the sessions that I conducted, and I gave feedback to the teacher and gave them instructional coaching on whether they used their instruction and non-instructional cues in the right manner and the percentages. In the evaluation plan, I used coaching steps used in Jim Knight's book, The Impact Cycle, and had two of my candidates at the elementary and at the high school level complete the Identify segment, and then I had my elementary teacher complete all three steps with Identify, Learn, and Improve to help their teaching in the classroom. This helped gauge whether the teacher felt confident in their implementation of the elevation strategy they utilized. Another measure I took in the project was to provide the teachers with resources and help them construct the strategies to be used in their lessons. I conducted a follow-up meeting with the teachers who were unable to be observed and discussed their findings. Description of the Capstone experience and results. I provided South Habersham Middle School teachers with individualized sessions that showcased how to use the Elevations platform and showed them how to access all the available instructional resources. I shared the samples of strategies that they chose and helped them construct the needed resources to implement this instructional strategy they chose. As a result of the one-on-one coaching sessions, the teachers were able to gain more familiarity with Elevation's instructional strategy and determine new ways to integrate the activities within their lesson planning. On the left, you can see an example of what the template would look like for the learning targets for Find Your Match, which was used by two of the teachers that I worked with directly in the spring of 2021. On the left, you can see pictures of the cards that I constructed for the teacher in 7th grade math that they used to help review for the milestones. And this was a very extensive project because I had to cut out 15 sets, and each set had 16 cards that you matched with each one. and these were all laminated so they could be reused in the future. This was a very extensive project, it took a lot of time. And on the right, you can see an example of the differentiated question prompt planning guide that I conducted for the 6th grade social studies teacher. And this as well took a lot of extensive planning, as I had to watch videos to plan for the lesson. The first major obstacle I faced with the project came from the teacher buy-in through the Google survey. Many teachers were not very responsive with that. Scheduling times to observe the elementary and high school teacher I coached using the gym night coaching strategies required me to take a personal day to see them utilize the strategy in the classroom. I had to change the course of my plans drastically once we received notice that our school would be going virtual full time due to COVID-19 pandemic, which made me shift my coaching sessions from face-to-face to Google Hangouts. On the left is just a sample letter of the letter that was given to teachers when we found out that we were going to have to go to at-home learning. As a result of the Capstone project, I worked with 5 different teachers on ways to incorporate the elevation strategies within their lessons. We were able to recognize the EL student population that they serve and determine their status as developing, bridging, and expanding. I was able to promote the county's district-wide initiative to promote the use of elevations in the elementary, middle, and high school levels. I was glad my colleagues are willing to adapt to all the changes that have occurred in the pandemic since the beginning. As Knight states, effective instructional coaches see teachers as professionals, which means they see the teachers as the ultimate decision makers about what and how they learn. And this is one of the things I kept in mind when I worked with the teachers closely on this project. The Capstone project provided me with the opportunity to experience what an instructional technology coach would offer in a school setting. Through my experience, I was able to grow in my proficiency and awareness of what was required to provide teachers with a meaningful coaching experience tailored to their specific needs. As stated by Gusky, organizational support is necessary to gain high-quality implementation of new policies and practices. I knew that our quick professional development session of using Elevation's digital software program would limit the success of its full potential. By providing organizational support, it would help teachers with a stronger understanding of the Elevations and how to use it successfully and implement strategies within their own lessons. As a future instructional technology coach, it is vital to seek new emerging digital software programs that can assist in the classroom setting. Through this experience, I learned that the strategic value of using strategies geared towards assisting the growing ELL population seen within Habersham County schools and South Habersham Middle Schools would be beneficial. I look forward to helping my colleagues become more proficient in using the elevation strategies within their planning in the future as well. Working with the ESOL coordinator, technology specialist, and academic coach will be essential to promoting the elevations programs at our school.